The next stop of our journey is Castro. The town's name recalls its fortification and the walls of protection, but also its ancient origins lost in Rome, Crete, and Greece. A village perched on a hill about 100 meters above the sea level, Castro is surrounded by walls and protected by its imposing castle, practically an impregnable fortress. In 1480, the year of the conquest of Otranto by the Turks, the castle was partially destroyed. The Byzantine crypt is a small church which houses a huge artistic and architectural heritage, but above all, it's an historical importance. It was discovered only in the last century by the architect Basil. Built initially on a possible Paleo-Christian implant that dates back to the 9th century, therefore at the time of the Byzantine expansion in southern Italy. Today, the crypt is one of the few examples in the Salento of this precious past. Starting from the 18th century, the crypt was walled up and used as a cemetery. The architectural structure of the crypt is a Greek cross surmounted by a central dome and surrounded by small barrel-vaulted naves. On the walls of the crypt are preserved a great number of wall paintings of great artistic value that belong to at least 3 different historical phases. The figures convey elegance and are gifted with a particular expressive power. Among these, the most particularly intense and magnetic are the wall paintings of St. John and the Redeemer. The crypt preserves 2 pairs of large columns of great architecture, with capitals composed by an abacus and a truncated upside-down cone. On the right of the Byzantine crypt, you cannot avoid noticing the imposing Cathedral of Castro, also known as the Church of the Annunciation. The cathedral was built in 1171, probably built on the ruins of an ancient Greek temple. At the entrance, there's a beautiful fresco depicting the image of St. Lucy. Inside, the attention is immediately captured by the pulpit and the impressive antique organ dating back to the 17th century. The main altar is in Baroque style and was built by the bishops De Marco and Caprioli between the year 1670 and 1675. It's enriched by 2 canvases of different sizes, both dedicated to Our Lady Annunziata, protector of the city. The cathedral contains also the wooden urn containing the relics of Saint Dorothea, patron of the city, plus some valuable procession statues in papier-mâché, among which the statue of the Madonna of the Annunziata. A great architectural value is also the Bishop's Palace, built between the 15th and the 16th century. The city of Castro is a wonderful treasure chest that contains within the extraordinary beauty of an unspoiled landscape, but that proudly narrates its glorious past. Castro was originally called Castrum Minerva because here, according to the tradition, was built a temple dedicated to the goddess, whose remains were found after the restoration of the castle and the walls. Castro combines history and legend. The city has been identified by some students of the University of Salento as the first landing of Aeneas in Italy, which according to the Virgil happened right near the temple of Minerva on the sea. The exact point of landing has been identified in the Bay of Porto Badisco. The decadence of the city began with the end of the feudalism and culminated with the abolition of the diocese. Since 1975, Castro has regained its municipal autonomy as a demonstration of its reborn importance due to the wise management of one of the few resources of the country, the sea. Today, Castro is an ancient and charming fishing village with its particular harbor, close to which there are some natural caves carved by the waves and still used by fishermen as a depot. The inhabitants of Castro are nearly 2,500, but during the summer its narrow streets are filled and never before hosting large numbers of tourists from all over the world and attracted by the beauty of the place, a fairy-like landscape washed by a crystal clear sea, one of the most cleanest in Italy. Among the ravens of Castro's, one of the most attractive landscapes to mention is Punta Mercurione, which offers the spectacular landscape scenery, the cold springs and the caves carved by the sea, all enclosed in a picturesque setting of a deep green vegetation. So Castro is art, history, culture, legend, but above all, the sea. An endless blue expanse from which the inhabitants of Castro saw the horrid sails of the Moors reach and conquer the Straits of Otranto. The sea, loved and feared, with its calm and clear waters, invites you to stop and enjoy its beauty in one of the most amazing landscapes of Puglia and above all of Italy.